All right, so we're live. I have two persons here. I have three thumbs up. Thank you. All right. Today the topic. Get a notification. Today the topic is the wind. Is it able to provide adequate electricity? Yes. Is it able to provide adequate electricity? I want to thank you all for coming to the live. And please bear in mind that you can stop me during the process of whatever it is that I'm speaking about to ask any question that you may so desire. I will answer you as best as I can. And remember that the aim is all about conservation. So if you have a question in relation to that side, then fine. I know some of my subscribers are very, very, very shy. No need to. There's no stupid questions to be asked here. The aim is just one thing, conservation. So whatever it is that you think you want to ask, then go ahead and ask it here. Thank you for being here, Storm Chaser. Um, yeah, thank you for being here, Storm Chaser. Your attendance is greatly appreciated. All right. Like I said, I'll repeat back the topic. The topic is the wind. Is it able to provide adequate electricity? No, we have the sun in my country to our disposal where we tend to take it for granted. Some of us hide from it. I know I hide from it. Some of us hide from it, and some of us embrace it. We can embrace it by using it as much as we can to assist in our daily living or even to just survive. And we can hide from it because we don't want to be burnt or develop any illness based on or exposure to too much sunlight. Hello, Bernard, you're here. I'm not seeing him here, but I'm seeing him there. Thank you for being here. Please remember to leave a thumbs up. Yes, so we can either embrace it or we can hide from it. No, we also have to our disposal the wind. And I'm Storm. Are you seeing any other comment in the chat? I'm not seeing it on my screen, so I'm asking. All right. So in terms of the wind, we can make use of it. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you for that encouragement. Bernard said it's great to be a part of this, and you are doing a great job. Thank you. All right. So in terms of the wind, we sometimes have it in abundance, sometimes we don't. Now, what I find that is happening is that wind power it's a fast growing business, and not only in our country but worldwide. Now, I wouldn't say that we're there yet with this wind power. We have a little way to go in terms of how we embrace it or utilize what we have. Um, the wind that we have, but the numbers are really going up. Now, in terms of wind power, it has its disadvantage and advantages. And sometimes what might be an advantage for me, you may see it as a disadvantage for you. So sometimes it's hard. It's not a full clear cut, as clear cut as being able to say it's an advantage or disadvantage, but we'll go through them. Now, another thing that I notice is that even though we have the wind and the solar power, so the solar ones use the sun, and the wind turbines use the wind in order to provide this electricity to us. We find that they both provide clean energy to us. Now, we'll go through, like I said, the disadvantages and the advantages. But one thing I need to mention to you is that in terms of cost, when you're to compare the solar with the wind turbines, the wind turbine will come out far, far way cheaper. However, there are some things that I realize with it why it might be far, far, far cheaper. All right, so let's look on some of the advantages. Now, one of them is the cost itself. The cost itself for the wind turbines are far cheaper, like I tell you. So that's a plus for it. And they say it has a low environmental impact. It does have an impact, but it's not as great. As a matter of fact, I don't think the solar power has any at all. Don't think it has any at all, but it doesn't make it doesn't have an effect on even the birds, but the wind turbines do. Another thing too, before I continue, I don't want you to mix up the windmill with the wind turbines. They're actually two different things. I noticed on one of my posts, somebody mentioned they saw the wind turbine, and the first thing that they said was windmill. No, it's not a windmill. The wind turbines are actually different. I'll explain it to you another day in a vlog, but it's different, totally different. All right. They say it has a low health risk. I'm not sure what the health risks are with the solar, if there is any, but I have not heard of any. But they said that the I think the health risk might be if you should go in the path of it, then it would probably affect you. Now, one of the pros that someone else mentioned to me why he would rather the wind turbine is a space. That was his problem, the space. It would take more panels for him to generate electricity for his home than him using one wind turbine. So that was his pro or his advantage of choosing a wind turbine over the solar power. But what I find is that some persons, because of the space that they have, they put the panels in such a way that it forms it's like you would have a gazebo. So they put the panels in such a way that it forms a roof on top of that house. And if you have the panels there like that as well, it it can assist with leaks, and because it will provide shade, and it can also assist with the cooling down of the house. I know since my panels are up, the roof has been mighty cool where that is. And not only that, because I've also placed the cool seal there, so it makes a difference for it, but the additional shade is provided by the panels. Another advantage that we mentioned, the advantage of cost. So let's go into some disadvantage. One disadvantage that persons think of is harmful to birds. It is, because I can tell you the number of birds, especially for the larger wind turbines, they tend to be hit by it and killed. Now, another thing is the location. Sometimes some persons have the challenge of where to place it, which it can be, because when you think of a solar, you're using solar panels, you're just having that on the roof. With the wind turbine, it's best if you place it from ground up. You can't place that on the roof like that standing alone. It would mean a lot, because it needs a lot of reinforcement there. So it's best if you place it from the ground up and not just put it on the roof with bolts. That's not safe. The best thing to do is place it from the ground where you are up. So it would mean more pipes. Probably some persons don't even have the space to place it from the ground up, but that's best. It has, some persons think of it too as it doesn't add to the aesthetics of the house, or it doesn't add to the aesthetics of the location. I can agree somewhat, because if you place it at a point, it it might not, how must put it now, it might not look pleasing to the eyes. It depends on where you put it, because if you put it at the front of the house, it just take away from whatever beauty you may have there, because of this pipe and the wires. So it takes it away. So you have to try and find a location where it it not, I don't see it adding to the aesthetics of the house, but it will not look as terrible as if you had placed it to the front of the house. Is there any questions that we did so far? Yes, Storm Chaser, please remind them to hit that like button. Now, the reason why I chose to speak about the wind turbine providing adequate electricity is because I recently installed one. Now, my reason for installing a wind turbine was not to generate electricity for the entire house. That wasn't my plan. I wanted to take off my 24-hour appliances from the wind turbine, from the power company to that wind turbine. Yes, it's possible. Hello, 4Js. Thank you for coming. Yes, it is possible to take off some things off that you have for 24 hours running and place them onto an off-grid system, because a wind turbine is really, the one that I have is an off-grid system where it is powered by batteries, and whatever power or whatever electricity that I should accumulate is stored by the battery. That's the intention of the off-grid system. And then from the battery, it comes inside the house to an inverter, which converts that 12 volt to 110. Now, the wind turbine that I have, the wind turbine that I have is, it was done based on I wouldn't say a trial because I knew what I wanted. However, at the present moment, I only have one battery on. And while it is said that the wind turbine is able to charge this battery, because I think it generates based on the description. When I was buying that wind turbine, it says it has the capability of generating 5,000 watts. I don't need 5,000 watts. All I want is just a little to run whatever it is that I have running for 24 hours a day. So that was a problem I'm having. Now, I've been running this thing for probably little more than a week, little more than a week. And I must say that in order to generate the amount of electricity that I want, it is generating electricity. Right now, I can have the fan plugged in there and I'm fine. And it will run the fan straight back until till in the morning. And then I noticed that in the evenings, I'm not hearing it now actually. In the evenings, the wind turbine doesn't receive much much breeze, much wind. It doesn't receive much wind, and because of that, it is not charging the battery as expected. The battery keeps up, yes, it does, because there's hardly anything draining the battery. However, in order for it to give me what I really require, I'm actually fine. 4Gs. Hello, Antonio. Thank you for joining my live. Please remember to leave your thumbs up. Yes, in order for it to generate the amount of electricity that I want, I know I'm going to need additional batteries. Thank you, Antonio. I know I'm going to need additional batteries, and that additional battery is going to give me the required power that I need. Ideally, it is said that whenever you are on a battery system, you're really supposed to use 50% of your battery, carry your battery down to 50%, and then it charges up back. However, if you find that you're draining the battery, then it means that you really need more battery to begin with. So I found that in the first, I think it was the first day, right, by about 10 o'clock, I was draining my battery. So it was at that point I realized that, hey, I need more battery. At first, I wanted to start off with 2 batteries. However, I didn't want to mix the batteries. So, and then the battery that I got, they only had 1. So I couldn't buy any more. So I bought the 1 battery with the intention that within the next 6 months or so, I would get another one to add to it to see how it runs. But in the interim now, I'm fine. I can run my fan on it. Whatever it is that I'm running will be less wattage than the fan that I have. It will be less. So it will work, but I need it to be able to withstand whatever it is that is out there that I'm using it for. I don't want it to go down because whatever it is I'm putting on it is actually 24 hours that I need it for. And I can't manage the disruption at this point. It's going to be detrimental to me. All right. Saying to you that if it is actually possible, yes, it is actually possible. And you will be able to provide electricity by using this wind. You are able to provide electricity by using the wind. However, like I say, it's going to take a tidy sum of batteries. The battery that I'm using, the regular, while it's not the regular solar batteries, because then putting a solar battery on my wind turbine, it would actually be a waste because of what I'm using it for. So my choice was to use the marine batteries. And marine batteries are actually deep cycle batteries. So it's a good option to use. However, the marine batteries will cost far, far less. You can get a marine battery for, well, I got that one on sale for probably 20 something thousand dollars. And the solar batteries are actually looking 200 and a thousand. Just look at it. I can probably get 10 or more of those deep cycle marine batteries by just purchasing, other than purchasing one of those solar batteries. So it was no choice there. I didn't even consider using the solar batteries that they have out there. I was introduced as well to the gel batteries. However, what I realized with the gel batteries is that they tend to come in 6 volts, and I wanted 12 volts. So it would mean more batteries. And that's what I was really running from. I wanted the battery that I was looking for a battery that had more than 1,000 odd, probably if I could even get 1,002 ampere. But the one that I got was at 800. So I think if I put another one on it, whatever it is that I'm running would have been fine. You have, based on reading, you have until 6 months. Once you start with a battery, you have until 6 months to add another one. I'm I'm only 1 week in, so I'm going to add an additional battery there with the before the 6 months end. Um, Storm Chaser is asking, Smart, this wind turbine has its pros and cons. Yes, it does. For me, I know I haven't seen any yet, probably because I'm 1 week in. I haven't seen it killed any birds, but I know I do have birds on my roof. The evidence will be seen on my solar panels. They give my solar panels hell when they're ready. So I know they're up there, but I haven't seen anything dead on the ground, probably because it's a week. And probably because I don't have as well the wind turbine running 24 hours, because we don't have breeze for 24 hours. Like now, I don't have any, so I don't hear it any at all. I can stay here and hear it. I don't hear it any at all. Sometimes it vibrates aggressively, so you can hear it from anywhere you are. But it does have its pros and cons. Um, the pro for me would be my location where it is. I don't have it as an obstacle anywhere around that it doesn't trouble the aesthetics of the house any at all. And where I have it, it doesn't pose a problem for anything. I can open the door, close the door, open, I can even, because it's located nearer to my washroom, and then the batteries are in the washroom area, or the battery. I don't have batteries yet. So the battery currently is in the washroom area. Um, the wind is another issue. You need constant. Yes, Storm, you need the wind constantly if you were running certain things. I know my wind turbine, if I put more batteries on it, it can probably act as a generator in some instances. If I should lose electricity, it can act as a generator, but I don't want it for that. I want it, like I say, to run my 24 hours things. Because especially when I wasn't here, I realized that that 24 hours thing, while it isn't a lot, I think my light bill came up to the amount of light that I used was equivalent to $400 while I wasn't here, and that would account for the 24 hours um, things that I have plugged in. And it's not the refrigerator. It's not the refrigerator. I don't have my refrigerator on in 24 hours actually. So um, that wasn't an issue. My refrigerator wasn't an issue. The wind, on the other hand, for me, and I can't tell you that the wind will be a problem for you because I don't know how the wind is around your area. But for me, the wind, I really get the wind during the day. I really get the wind during the day. I hardly get it. So far, I've been watching it. I hardly get it at night. My wind is mostly in the day, and it will be aggressive when that happens. The wind turbine that I bought is it has it's like it's like an airplane that has the tail part on it. It's like that. However, I've been noticing some wind turbines that while it does have that tail looking part, some of them have a cutout. In a way, when you think about it, because it has that tail part, it is able to spin. Now, what my wind turbine does, it looks for whatever wind that there is, and it spins. So while it is the blades are spinning, then it is rotating. It is able to rotate to whichever direction that that breeze is in. It's not like the big um the big wind turbines that they have, because the big wind turbines that they have, I've seen about three blades on it. Yeah, some very huge ones. I think we have a wind farm here in Jamaica, but majority of the times when I'm looking, that the wind turbines have three. The bigger ones have three. Mine have about five blades. Yeah, five blades. And I was especially careful when choosing because some of the blades that I saw had they were white in color. I didn't want it white in color. I wanted it to be seen, so I chose one that had blue blades. Yeah, I chose one that had blades. I don't know if it will assist the birds in seeing it, but it's not that I like blue. Blue is not my favorite color, but I chose one that had that blue blade. I didn't want the black blade one because I feared that at night it wouldn't be seen. So I chose one with the blue blades. It isn't all that high. It's about probably about 10 feet from the roof as well. Probably about that, yes. And it's on a pipe, and the pipe is 20 feet from the ground. Right. The pipe, so it's a little more than 10 feet because I know you can probably stand the a person who is probably 6 feet can stand underneath it and the blades don't touch him or her. So where that is concerned, it will not pose an issue to someone standing under it. So it's not a hazard where that is concerned. So yes, storm, the wind, the constant wind will be an issue, especially if it is something that you're relying on to run your entire home. I have it on mm, a 1500-watt inverter. The wind turbine that I bought, it came with its own controller. Now the controller should be able to charge the battery, or it is able to charge a battery. So if say 5000 watts is coming from the wind turbine itself, the charge controller is able to regulate the amount of wattage that reaches those batteries or the battery that is on it in order that excessive electricity doesn't reach it and it's being charged constantly. So you don't have that issue. So it's not a matter of as a matter of fact, I don't know if other wind turbines that you may purchase out there would come with its own charge controller. I couldn't see, but I know the one that I bought came with its own charge controller. I'm not sure if you even should buy it from a supplier out here, if you get it like that, because majority of the times when these suppliers sell you anything in terms of solar, they want to install it themselves. So you can probably think of that if you can afford that level of installation. I know for me, I couldn't afford it. So my labor was practically free. So if you can, it's not hard to install, by the way, but it's not a one-man job. It can't be done by one person. And you need somebody with the, how much call it now? With the skill, with the knowledge of testing, because in the installation process of my solar, of my wind turbine, it was actually realized that there are two types. There are some that comes with grounds, some that don't come with grounds. Mine didn't come with a grounds. It came with three wires, yes, from the charge, that would be from the charge controller to the wind turbine, but none of them were ground wire. None of them. Some of the wind turbines that are being sold out there do come with ground wire, so you have to be careful. You can't just buy one and say you're going to put it up. No, it needs somebody who understands that part of electricity in order to. I remember when it was being installed, um, the cap wasn't on, and the fear was that because it was spinning, then 5,000 watts worth of electricity would have shocked you. Yeah, it can if it's generating 5,000 watts. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful, and don't take on this level of insulation by yourself. It's good to know though how it is installed. However, I'm going to do a vlog on that, but while I say it's good to know, it's always good to know whatever you have to install or whatever it is that you have to do that you are not able to do yourself. Hello, Ray. Thank you for coming to the live. Please leave your thumbs up. It's good though to know how it is installed, and the reason why it's good to know how it is installed, so that if you see the workmen making a mistake, then you can correct them. But like I say, I realized in the past week that in order to really run a house, you're going to need some very strong batteries. You're going to need some batteries. And like I say, I can't tell you about the constant, because Storm asked about it, the constant wind. I can't tell you. I know in my area, or at my home, I wouldn't say in my area. I know at my home, I don't have that constant wind. So if it was something I was relying on to provide constant, probably if I had it, then I would not need another battery, but I don't have it. I don't have that constant electricity. Yes, Storm Chase, I wouldn't say battery enough. You wouldn't need a lot of batteries. Probably if you were running a house, you would probably need to look into the batteries that they use on the solar panels. Those are expensive ones, the ones that cost about 200 and something thousand. But if you're running a one or two items off it, then go ahead, use the deep cycle batteries. But if you're running the entire house, you're going to need a lot of deep cycle batteries. You are going to probably, I've seen majority of the times when persons use batteries, they have a room. And that was my fear too. Because then if I'm planning to go off grid, Where am I going to get that space to hold all those batteries? Yes, Storm, it's actually too expensive. The batteries are really, really expensive. It is. And that's why I chose to go the deep cycle, because I've mentioned it before that the deep cycle batteries cost me, one was about 20 something thousand, and one of those solar batteries really was 200 and something thousand. So the money that I would use to buy one of those solar batteries for the regular, I think they are called lithium ion batteries. The price that I would pay for one, I could buy 10 of the deep cycle batteries. And please don't think that for the entire house that you're planning to use this off-grid system on, that you can use those deep cycle batteries. No, you can't, because it's going to really pull it. You can't. The battery that I use was a deep cycle marine battery, and you have to be careful of the brand that you use. You have some of them that they make, um, you have some of them that they do make that have a, I wouldn't say inferior, but it's not like some. They'll tell you that it's they make it like, but it's not. It's 100%. So you can consider your options, but think about what you're going to put on it first. You need to think about what you're really going to put on it, and that will be your determination as to which battery you use, and if you can really go grid tied with the wind turbine. Like I say, I'm going to repeat, I can't say if it will work for you if you don't have the wind. Sometimes you're on the ground and you're feeling this breeze, and you say yes, it can work for you. Remember, it's up there that it's going. It's up there, because sometimes I'm seeing my wind turbine moving or it's spinning. However, I'm not feeling any breeze down here. It's up there, it's not down here. So you can look into it as well, consider it. However, think about it and weigh the pros and the cons and see if it will work for you. I know something that I was thinking of for the persons who have the farms and especially need lights. I know the wind turbine can work for you. I know it can work for you if you have a little farmhouse. So if you have the farmhouse and you just want a little electricity at night, you can use it as well. However, like I say, it works off batteries. It is a off-grid system. It is going to need batteries. It's not like the grid-tied system. Um, I don't know if a wind turbine can be a grid-tied system. I don't know. I've never seen it operated as a grid tied, as an off-grid system before. I remember that the off-grid system is the one that doesn't need the batteries. So you have three types. You have off-grid, you have grid tied, which is what I'm using my wind turbine for, and you have hybrid. And the hybrid is a mixture of the battery and the battery, as well as you can use the electricity directly from it, in the days especially. I'm not sure if it can operate like that. Probably you need to check with a supplier for that, for him or her to set it up that way for you. But in the interim, I'm only using it as a grid tied system. And it has, my system has about, I think, how much is it? Three. I have three plugs. I can also plug my cellular phones there. I can also plug my cellular phones in it, which is a plus. So, and all of that is from the inverter itself. I'm not sure if you wanted to go that route, but that's the route I took with mine. Storm Chaser is saying that they are sleeping, no question. Oh my God. Well, I guess they're just listening. People are like that. They like to listen. Do you have any questions, Storm? See? So probably you're just listening too. All right. Another thing too with the, oh, you do have question. Well, go ahead, shoot. Another thing too with the grid tied system that I set up, I did not have it running into any current electrical outlet. I don't. So what I do is I use that electricity straight from my inverter. So my inverter, and you'll see it in the vlog. So my inverter is set up on the wall itself. It's set up in such a way that it it is in a spot where it wouldn't affect anything. It's not going to affect anything at all. So I can plug whatever it is. It's actually near here. It's actually around the corner there, right there, and it's on the wall. It's clamped onto the wall. The inverter was made with the possibility of being clamped onto a wall. I'm not sure. Some of you may have inverters. Probably you can look and you see some holes in it where you can affix it to a wall easily. Mine was made like that, and mine is a 1500 watt. So I know it can pull. I know it can run my refrigerator, but I'm not sure if the battery that I have it on is adequate enough for that to be my refrigerator to be pulling that constantly. I don't think so. But I know it can run a refrigerator if I add more batteries there. So it's you need to consider what it is that you're using it for. Like I say, I don't have them in the plugs. What is in my plugs though is my off-grid solar system. The off-grid one, they are in my plugs. So when I use my plug, especially during the day, I'm using my panels. In the nights, when I use my plugs, then I'm using the power company. Bank BMRS channel, thank you for being here. And yes, your thumbs up number 7. Um, Storm is saying, so far, were you expecting more from the wind turbine or the sun would be much better? If I was expecting more, no, no. Probably because what I wanted it for, I would not say I'm expecting more. Um, when I purchased that one, um, everyone in the chat, Bang BMR S channel is saying hello, hi. Um, when I purchased that one battery, it was not with intention of how must put it, expecting more. I wouldn't say I'm expecting more. I really wanted a battery that was over 1,000 amperes, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it in the type of battery that I wanted. So I purchased the one with 800. Yes, it was iffy. Hello, Tress Jota. Thank you for joining. And yes, I saw that number 8 thumbs up. I saw it. Thank you. It was with the intention of really testing the one. That was the intention of testing the one. And I wouldn't say expect more. And I would not say if the sun would be much more better, because it's something that I can always decide to put a panel up. But I don't want a panel up. A panel is going to take away some of my space. You have to have the space to house those panels. And it's not like you see how you mount that wind turbine? It's not like it wouldn't be safe mounting a panel up on that pipe. It wouldn't be. So the best thing to do is just use the wind turbine for what I want it to do. But the only thing that I'm seeing here now is that I do need more battery to run whatever it is that I'm running comfortably. And remember, please, I told you that with the battery system that I have, with the battery system that I have, it's almost put it now. I really want to use that battery, the 50% of that battery, within a week. And as a matter of fact, I really don't even want to use 50% of that battery. I want where if I use 25% of my battery capacity, it is replenished whenever the wind turbine starts spinning again. Storm Chaser is asking, if you get over 2000 amps, you will be okay then. Yes, I will be okay. However, to get 2000 amps at 12 volt, it would mean I need probably about 3 of those batteries, because 3 of those batteries would give me 2400 amps. But I don't want to put them in terms of that. I want to try 1600 first. That's what I want to try, 1006. And trying the 1006, I think I'd be more comfortable to see where that lands me. Because like I say, with the fan that I have, I'm able to get a day before that battery drains. One whole day. Because if I run it straight at night, I'm fine. So if I only use the fan at nights, then I'll be okay. Because like I tell you, I'm not seeing where I'm getting that wind power at night. And probably because it's here. If it was at your house, probably you'd get the wind at night. And I would not say don't get one for your home or because of the wind. No. What might work for me might not work for you, and what might not work for me might work for you. So it depends. It depends. Understand, Storm? And I'm not saying 2000 amps. If I had 1006, I know I'd be good. And it would have been great to get another battery to put on the one that I have, but they didn't have any more, so I had to settle for the one. And it was just a trial with the one. And even with the trial, I'm seeing that it can work. Hello, Beto. Thanks for being here. It can work, but I don't want to put a strain on my battery like that. In terms of that no Storm is asking, are you getting the full 110 volts? All right, the first day that it was started, and I think it was because of the battery power. It was like it started at 99, then it went up, and then I got 110. However, now for the past couple of days that I realized when it is tested without anything plugged in, I started getting probably 100 point something, and little above. You see the minute something plug in there, I'm getting my 110. I'm getting my 110. I don't know what it is. I don't know whatever miracle is happening, but I'm getting the 110. once something is plugged in. So I'm not worried about the one thing. It's not fluctuating like that. But the only thing that is my issue now is getting an additional battery. And I need to get it within the next 6 months. I need to get it by then, so that I'll be okay where this thing is concerned. I need to be able to leave my system plugged into it without even having to worry. Because when I wasn't here, there was, I remember I wasn't able to access my system, my camera system, and it was because I did not have the internet service up. So what is it that I really wanted? I have two things that are running 24 hours. I have the CCTV, which is a camera system, and I also have my internet system on. I really want to pull one of them off and put it on it. That's what I want to do. I don't know which one it is or which two it will be, because probably this thing is a testing thing, So we going little by little, we're going and we're getting there. But that's the aim of it, to really have this thing running the 24 hours things. And those two things are my 24 hours things. My refrigerator is not 24 hours. And I keep on telling people, my refrigerator is not 24 hours. I don't have my refrigerator on 24 hours. So when you hear me talk about 24 hours item, it's not that. I don't have a problem with my refrigerator. Um, I don't have a problem with my refrigerator. My problem is those little 24 hours thing. And while those little 24 hours thing is not pulling a lot of electricity, please remember, I'm telling you, it does add up. It does add up. Thank you, Vito. Because if I did not have those things on it, I'd probably receive a electricity bill for zero. As a matter of fact, probably they would have owed me, because all I would be doing was selling them electricity. But I was not able to sell all of my electricity for the time that I wasn't here. I wasn't able to sell it all. And it was because of that, those 24 hours items. Yes, I used less. I sold them more than I used. However, the money is minimal. It is minimal. It is. It really is minimal. So it's a challenge. It's really a challenge, persons. I can tell you, it's it's a challenge having the system. Really, Beta is saying, congratulations, 521. Really? Yeah, 521. Thank you. Yeah, it's really a challenge keeping up with the it's really a challenge keeping up with these 24 hours items. I need to move them off that grid. I need to move them off the power company, and I need to get it on a standalone system where I'm comfortable and I won't have to worry about them. Because the thing is, sometimes, and probably you wouldn't know that, but when you're on an internet system, the power at your home determines if that internet is up sometimes. However, sometimes your internet service provider has electricity where that entire where you access your where you access your ISP has power there, and you would probably have power if it was not for the fact that your home loses electricity. You'd have power as well. However, when you don't have power at your home and all of these things are plugged into that, you're going to lose it. So I want to be able, to yes, Antonio, thanks. I want to be able to have my internet 24 hours. Today I was at home and I lost electricity. I lost electricity for a short while. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know because I was on the laptop and I lost electricity for a while. But because the laptop has a battery backup, then I was on it. The what I do here was another system that we have chipped in. If it was probably in the night, I probably really wouldn't know if electricity is gone. But like I said, those 24 hours thing, those are my pet peeves. I don't know what your pet peeve is, but I know those 24-hour things, they are my pet peeve. And I need to move them off the power company. I need to take them off that form of reliance on the power company. Um, is there any question about what I've said so far? Is there Antonio? Vito is saying that he's having a live tomorrow. Yes. There is, if there's any question, even the ones in relation to, even if it doesn't have to do with the wind turbine. No, Antonio. Vito is saying that there is no live. No live. He's not having a live today. For persons in the chat, I would like to thank you very much for, Antonio, understand me? I'd like to thank you for being here. It was an interesting, I don't want to say an interesting ride because I've not completed it yet. It is an interesting journey so far with the wind turbine. It is an interesting journey with this wind turbine. I'm learning as I do go along, and so I'm learning, I'm sharing with you. I will share the installation part with you. I'm actually in the process of doing a vlog. It's just that because these vlogs are 4K, they're taking me a time to upload. It's taking, so far I've only done 2 uploads and I've not done that one as yet. So I will share with you how it was installed so that you can get an idea, should in case you decide to do one yourself. The issue that I am having, like I tell you, is with my batteries. So my batteries are in. My battery is in, but it needs an additional one. So if I can get an additional one, then I'll be fine. And like I say, I need that additional one. I need that additional one within the next 6 months. I am thanking you all for joining my live, and yes, you can always ask me question within, you can always ask me questions within a vlog, or if you see me, and please don't ask me about something that I've discussed already. If you ask me about something that I've discussed already, I will not answer you. I will send you back to a vlog. So thank you all for coming. And please, for those who don't or did not leave their thumbs up, please remember to leave that thumbs up. It will assist in spreading the word. Thank you, and I wish you all a good morning or good night, depending on where you are. And thank you for joining the live stream. So I'll see you